Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. Joining me to discuss how employers can stay connected to employees and keep them engaged at this time is Sam Caucci, CEO of One Huddle. Sam, it's great to have you with us. Welcome to Trade Talks.
Thanks for having me, Jill.
Now, Sam, you think employees are becoming, quote, unhinged, working from home, or are not working at all while waiting to be brought back. How can employers stay connected?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think that employees, by and large, are zoomed out, so to speak. There was a little bit of a chaos that ensued when COVID began, the people working from home, getting connected, and getting up to speed. But I think that as the dust is settled, and employees have had to realize that companies are sending them home for the long haul, and they have to operate from home longer than they anticipated. I think that it's causing a little bit of little chaos in the workforce. Employee engagement was already at all-time lows pre-COVID. Gallup did a workforce study that they found only 15% of global workers are, quote, excited to go to work every day pre-COVID. So again, I think that we have this reality of workers who are already struggling to be connected and excited about work. Now operating from home brings a whole different set of challenges.
Tell us who some of your clients are and how they are creating games to help employees compete and maintain the skills they will need when they return to the office, because it certainly seems like that social component is what's really helppful here.
Sure. So, whether you're a retail brand or a restaurant brand that has been faced with a tough decision to furlough or lay off, or we work with a lot of companies in the pharma space, from Roche to Novartis, to working with brands that are in financial services like Broadridge Capital. And I think the biggest thing that we were aware of when this all started is that employees don't just have to keep everybody work ready, but they also got to keep people excited in the moment. So at One Huddle, we help companies take all of your e-learning content, your skill training, and all of your communication, because more than ever, getting information to employees is tough. And our platform lets companies take all of that information, turn it into quick burst mobile games. And all of us have sat through way too many watch the video, take the quiz stuff at work. And we try to make that a little bit more fun. And at the same time, if we get a lot of engagement, it should be stickier. Employees should perform better. And that's our goal.
Is it easy for managers to build, and then of course for employees to access it?
Sure, that's a great question. For too long, the human resource job function in a company has kind of like been in an ivory tower. It's been super far away from the front lines of the workforce. So when we built our platform, one of the big realities of it was we wanted frontline managers to be able to create training content in real time. So just like when you go to your local restaurant, that afternoon, they were just coming up with the ideas for tonight's menu. How do we get that information into the minds of your bartenders and your frontline workers so that when they engage you that evening, they are prepared, they feel confident, they know the right information, and everybody wins in that equation. So your question on, can managers build content? That's super critical, we feel, in today's workforce, where we can't wait for the human resource person 10 floors up in a corner office to come up with the information we need to train on right now, especially as jobs are changing super fast.
Sam, let's talk about the science behind all of this. Does the data show this kind of training works?
It does. On two fronts. One, we found that how long you know something is dependent on how you learn it. So it's why, I don't remember anything from college. I studied for the test, I took the test, and then I forgot. Sure, some people can relate with my humor there. The concept of a game is, as you struggle through it, it sticks. And anybody who works out knows that it's the hard stuff that you remember that sticks around longer. And we're just trying to bring that into corporate training and communication. Is engaging the hard stuff makes stuff stickier, makes it more lasting. It doesn't hurt that the game platform gets a ton more engagement than would your traditional watch the module, take the quiz stuff.
I think it's awesome how you also correlate the gym component as well. So when you get a game and then you also talk about the gym, you have that competitive component that comes into it as well, which I think is more impactful when it comes to learning and remembering content versus just studying for a specific test, as you had said before. But I think it's the competitive aspect to me, that's most exciting, because I know sometimes we'll do Zoom happy hours just to keep our team engaged, and they always revolve around some kind of game, and the competitive level is the best part about it.
Sure. And a lot of companies, what we're seeing is they're not just using it for job training. They're using it for, call it culture stuff. Remember a bunch of months ago when the Michael Jordan documentary came out? We had companies turning every weekend episode into a game for almost like a book club with their workforce. We had a lot of companies that, even though everybody was in the same room at the same time, they were using games as a vehicle to upskill, create more engagement, and drive better culture. Also, to deploy really serious training content, diversity, inclusion, implicit bias, food, hand safety in COVID times. These are the types of training that companies were mostly equipped only to do this in person. So the fact that we can make it remote is even more impactful, because the technology that's going to win tomorrow meets the worker wherever they are. We got to treat technology, high growth tech companies and enterprise have to act like they're reaching consumers. It just so happens to be that, workers, the workers are the folks who are going to benefit right now.
Yeah, and it's all in one spot on the platform. Great to have you with us, Sam. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks.
Thanks for having me.